Hey, today I'm continuing my my talk through of version 3, and we have gotten to where the rules really change and change up the game, both tactically and mathematically, the shooting phase. So I have of course made a PowerPoint for you guys, and just a sec, I will find it for us. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't meant. Massive changes in this one, as I said. Massive changes. A lot of things are different. And we're going to go through all of them. So we're going to talk about how you declare targets, how the target reacts. We're going to talk about when you measure. We're going to talk about to hit. We're going to talk about to damage. The cover saves, whether you're in cover or not, how that is measured. The shooting from cover, so if you're in an area terrain, taking casualties, and checking morale. And there'll be a little bit about ambush at the end. So, declaring targets. That is pretty much business as usual. When you want to shoot, you say this unit will shoot at that unit with a fire or an advance or whatever, right? You declare, and then you check line of sight if you are going to measure with a laser pointer. You can, of course, at any time, like crouch down and see if you can spot. And what you need to do is you need to spot significant parts of the model, so it needs to be head, torso. It doesn't work just spotting an arm or a weapon or the base of a model. It needs to be a significant part of the model. So the target must be in line of sight, and the target is normally one enemy unit. There are like one-shot weapons can split fire. So if you have a Panzerfaust in the unit, your rifles can shoot at one unit, whereas you shoot a Panzerfaust at something else, right? That can happen, but that's the only place where split firing is allowed. And you have to keep to the 1-inch safety gap. If you can damage a friendly model, you cannot shoot within 1 inch of that friendly model. The easiest way to measure that is by taking one of your own models, because the base is 1 inch wide, placing it next to your the intervening friends and seeing whether or not the laser can go around that and still, hit significant parts of the target model. So that's declaring the target. As soon as you've declared your target, then the target gets to react, and you have to wait for this. You cannot just pick up your dice and roll them and then the target didn't get to react. The target gets to react, and they can react by, for instance, going down. So if it has no auto dice, or if it is in ambush, it may go down. You can also, some targets can make an escape move. That is cavalry or vehicles that have the recce special rule. They can make escape move. That is counted as the same as going down, but it's a move instead of actually going down and getting that extra cover save. Then you measure range as soon as the target has reacted, but you have to wait for the target to react. Measure the range, and that is base to base, so each shooter needs to measure whether they are in range to shoot. If you're out of range, like beyond the range of your weapon, then your shot is wasted. If you're in range, then you can proceed and shoot. One extra thing, if you're within 6 inches, then you're at point blank range. Point blank range becomes important because it gives you a large bonus to shoot, and it ignores the enemy going down. So the target cannot benefit from being down if you're in point blank range, which is very, very significant. Right. Now, the next bit of this, the next phase, is the to hit rule. To hits is a 4+ baseline, right? It used to be 3+, but now it's 4+. And you only have minuses for being inexperienced, having moved, or being pinned. And it's not -1 for each pin, it's -1 for being pinned. So the maximum, the normal maximum you can have of minuses is -3, making it a, so -1, that makes it a 5, -2, that makes it a 6, -3, so if you're inexperienced, you've moved and you're pinned, that makes it a 7, what's called a nigh impossible shot, which is a 6 followed by another 6. You do gain quite a significant bonus. As I said, the point blank gives you +2 to hit, which is very, very, very deadly. So, for instance, if you have SMGs, which they don't get the -1 for moving because they have the assault special rule, that +2 means that you're hitting on 2 pluses. That is significantly dangerous. As soon as you roll to hit, if you have any hits, then the enemy, the target unit, takes a pin. That's it. Easy peasy. If you're shooting with HE, that may be more than 1 pin, but normally it's just 1 pin. Right. Then you roll to see if you damage. Roll to damage is a single d6 plus the penetration value of the weapon you're using. For most small arms fire, the penetration is 0. But you can have other weapons that can shoot, like anti-tank rifles or what have you, that gain a bonus, penetration bonus, HE weapons. So you add that penetration value to your d6, and then to damage someone who's inexperienced, you need a 3+. For regulars, you need a 4+. For veterans, you need a 5+. All of that is business as usual. Soft skins, 6+, armored carriers, 7+, 8+, 9+, 10+, 11+ for super heavy tanks. All of that, business as usual. You know this from version 2. Then comes the new bit, the cover save. Now, in version 2, cover saves weren't there. You subtracted those from your to hit rolls, which meant that quite often you couldn't actually hit stuff because you were needing to roll 9 possible shots, 7s. Right, but the cover save now, if you have cover, then you gain a cover save. So it's really, really dangerous not to have any cover. So you need that cover save because it subtracts, because it's really easy to get hit. Like it's 50-50 to get hit, 4+. You get hit. Most times anyone shoots at you, you get hit. Now, each damage that is done by the enemy, the defender then takes a dice, a d6, and rolls it for cover saves. If you have soft cover, it's a 5+. If you have hard cover, it's a 4+. And if you went down, that's an extra 2+ modifier, meaning that you can actually save in hard cover. If you're down in hard cover, that's a 2+ save. You're very likely to survive that. So if you're down in the open, you get a 5+ save. But point blank ignores down. So if anyone moves up and is within 6 inches of you, you're very, very likely to get shot to pieces if you're in the open. Remember, a 1 always fails. Right. So when are you actually in cover? Right. The rules for this is one of the fails, I think, in the rulebook. This is again something that I would have wanted Warlord Games to clear up, to have very clear definitions of this. The wording is not good. The wording for being obscured, meaning that your unit has cover, right? There's some of your unit, it has like linear obstacles or soft cover like bushes or what have you between them and whoever's shooting them. If less than 50% of the shooters can see at least 50% of the target, what the actual blah? That is so poorly put. I'm sorry, Warlord Games. That is not clear. We're going to have a lot of non-native English speakers that are very, very confused by this. 50% of the shooting unit or more needs to see 50% or more of the defending unit if you don't want the defending unit to have cover. That's it. right? Most of the shots needs to be 50% or more of the shots need to be without cover in order for the unit that is being shot at not to gain a cover save. That's it. All the rest, wordings. Wordings are so difficult, and especially for this, for cover, because it's always been one of the problematic areas of the rules. I really, really wanted this to be clearer, and it's not. People are still going to be confused. Area terrain, if 50% of the unit is in cover, then the unit is in cover. Again, why? Why this difference? Because, listen. No, it's actually the same. Look, even I get confused, right? If 50% is in cover, then the unit is in cover. Right? No, it is different, right? Because if you want to avoid cover, then you need to see 50% of the unit. So, right, I have a unit, 10 guys. They are behind linear obstacles. 5 of them are peeking out. You're shooting at me. I don't get cover, right? Because most of your unit can see my 5 guys and then just shoot at them. But if I am in area terrain, then 5 of my guys are in area terrain, the rest are out, then I suddenly get cover. Why this difference? Ooh, that OCD bugs me no end. I'm sorry, I'm very, very non-positive on this. I can hear it, right? Right, so area terrain and other cover doesn't work the same. Why not Warlord? Why is that? That annoys me no end, and it's going to be confusing for people. I just made the same fucking mistake that... Sorry, now I'm swearing on YouTube. I just made the same mistake that I'm guessing a lot of other people will make. Because the wording is not clear, and the 2 types of cover, area terrain and non-area terrain cover, is not treated the same. Damn it! You should have fixed this. Now, what happens if you're shooting from inside cover? So you are in area terrain, behind a wall, or in area terrain. If 50% of your unit touches the linear obstacle, you ignore the linear obstacle, 50% or more. Then it means no cover, unless there's some other cover, right? They have a wall or a piece of terrain that they're hiding behind. And if 50% of your unit is within 1 inch of the edge of terrain, there is no cover. This, I have to say, again, I think is a mistake by Warlord Games. It annoys me that you can, for instance, sit in area terrain within 1 inch and be safe from charges 12 inches away, but shoot the guys out there, right? And they don't get any cover because, oh, I'm just shooting out of 1 inch, but why can't they charge you from 12 inches? If you gain the benefit of one, you should gain the detriment of the other. You shouldn't get all the benefits, but it is what it is. 1 inch is no inches. If you have 50% or more of your unit in area terrain within 1 inch of the edge, you shoot out of that area terrain without the target unit gaining cover for that area terrain. And then the target takes casualties, depending on what they saved and didn't save. So the owning player removes casualties, and the owning player has the total right to remove whatever they see fit. So you can break up unit coherency. You can absolutely remove the NCO if you want to. You can remove whatever models you like, because there are no rules for this. Only that the owning player removes casualties, which is nice because that can be exploited, right? And then the target checks its morale. If you lose more than half your unit, then you check morale in one shooting, right? If you lose more than half your unit in one shooting, you check morale. Same as always, 2d6. You subtract your pins and you add any commander bonuses that may apply. So if you're in 6 inch of your platoon commander, you get a 2+ bonus from his morale bonus, right? That's it. If you fail, then your unit runs away and is wiped out, removed from the board and counted as lost. If you succeed, there's no effect, your unit fights on. So what's new? Well, it is now much, much easier to hit units. It's much easier to hit units. It's very, very rare because it's always 4+. It's now very rare that you get those 7+, right? On your to hit. So if you're in range, you're very likely to hit. Now, are you likely to kill? Maybe not, because cover saves do come into it. Now, cover saves massively change up the game and what we want to do at certain points. For instance, it doesn't make any sense to try and go down if you're already in close engagement with the enemy, right? Because point blank is going to negate your going down. But if you're at long range, going down might be a good option for you because it's then a 2+ or a 3+ cover save. So that's pretty good. All that is new. All that changes the way we play the game massively, in my estimation. It really changes up how we play the game. It changes our decisions. It changes our lists. It changes everything about the game. And then in this section, there's also a little extra box in the rulebook about ambush, which I just wanted to mention here. Because ambushes have always been a weird one. Do you put it under orders or do you put it in shooting, or where do you put it? Right. If your unit has an ambush order, then you resolve the ambush when you want to trigger it. So it can be triggered by any type of movement, which can be escape moves or disembarkation from transport or what's that called? After a close quarters fighting, you consolidate, right? All of that can trigger an ambush, or it can just be a unit moving from A to B. The target cannot react, but is then positioned and then shot at where you want to shoot. So you decide at which point in that movement. As soon as he declares, I'm going to move from there to there, and you say, well, I'll shoot you when you're there. Now, again, we have a failure on Warlord Games' part. They did not write in how you position the unit. It just says the target unit is positioned accordingly. What does that mean? I don't know. I have no idea. I think perhaps it means that when I declare my shot is going to happen, when you're in the open there, the enemy then, like the target, the owner of the target unit, gets to position his unit however he wants to, as long as they're in that point. But it doesn't say. It was one of the things that weren't clear in version 2, and it's still not clear. Again, this is a failure on Warlord Games' part. I want this to be clear so that we know what happens when I trigger an ambush, right? Because it's very important. That will mean whether or not he gets cover saves, which can absolutely kill or save his unit, right? And it's not clear. Target unit positioned accordingly is not according to what? It is not clear. I'm sorry, this turns into a rant, doesn't it? Also remember that if you have a unit that's on ambush, you can absolutely shoot the assaulters whenever you want to. So you can shoot them 1 inch from yourself, shooting them at point blank range and just blasting them off with 2+ or whatever. So that is very deadly. And remember also that ambushes, if you're being shot at with a unit that's on ambush, you can elect to go down. You don't have to sit there and take the shots, because you don't have to just flip your dice to a fire order. You can flip it to a down order as well. So that's always nice. Right. So here at the end, I want to say thank you to the people who have contributed pictures here, and it's mostly myself. A lot of the images that aren't images that is World War II photographs. They are from a rookie tournament I held. Here we have an image of an Italian castle in the central hilly region of Italy being played at from in a rookie event. And I want to say that next time I'm going to talk about weapons. Hopefully I'll be a little more positive there. So, see you in the next tutorial. Cheers.